Christ I am disciple up in the building. How everybody doing? So we talking about a question. Are we still restoring the Snyderverse? Is the DC universe that Zack Snyder started the Snyderverse, or is it not? Is it just Snyder's original properties like Army of the Dead and this whole spin-off from Army of the Dead, or is it the universes that Snyder's created, any of his original works, which would be his creations? Well, Zack Snyder's trying to be all inclusive. So he's saying anything that I've done, any original work that I've done is the Snyderverse. Obviously, Army of the Dead was not. Dawn of the Dead wasn't an original work, but Army of the Dead was. I'm gonna say this about Zack Snyder and his stuff. When it comes to DC, and we're talking about restore the Snyderverse, we're literally talking about Zack Snyder's original work, which has to do with Justice League 1, 2, and 3. That's his original work. That's not Warner Brothers' work. That's not somebody. That's his work. So that's original work in that respect. As was BVS, as was Man of Steel. That was his stuff. So when we're talking DC and we say restore the Snyderverse in DC, we're talking about Zack Snyder's original works and the completion of his 5-part arc. But Zack Snyder's now looking beyond that, and he's talking about also, Rebel Moon, that he's got his projects that he's right now involved in. Rebel Moon. He's also involved in Army of Thieves. He's now also involved in what is it? Something of the Dead. The sequel to Army of the Dead is going to be Something of the Dead. Somebody help me out with that. Something of the Dead. I forgot what it is. Doom of the Dead. Something of the Dead. I can't remember. But those are going to be his passion projects, right? Army of Thieves has done well over this weekend on Netflix. Number one, again back at number one on Netflix. So that's really awesome. I'm gonna say all this. I'm gonna say this. Oh, Dune's doing very well as well in the cinemas. Dune is doing tremendous. You know. So anyway, those are two of my favorite movies, and those are the two things I want to go see. I still haven't been able to see Army of the Dead, and I still haven't been able to see Dune. Hopefully, by the end of this week, I'll be able to see both of them. We'll see. But I might renew my Netflix. I may even do HBO Max just to see the Snyder Cut as well as Dune if I can't see it in cinemas. We'll see. I don't know. But what I want to tell you guys is, and I'll do my reviews and everything. You guys can check it out. Don't forget also, you can subscribe, share, and you can also support me through Western Union MoneyGram, sending donations to my channel. I take donations. Notice I take donations. Let me say that again. I take donations. Also, I have my music out on a website now where you guys can donate to that music as well. I have like about 124 songs currently on there, so you guys can donate to there, and I would really appreciate your love and care towards that. I will actually do a video on the website so that you guys can check it out and go and watch those things. Of course, on YouTube, I also have some videos that I put up, and I also have a Facebook page which has one or two videos that are exclusive to that page. So you guys can go check out my stuff. I am Christ, I am disciple. Christ, I am disciple. Christ, Christ. I am as in the great I am, disciple. All right, they're all one word. Well, actually, two words. Christ, I am is one word, and then disciple, okay, is another word. And all it means is Christ, I am a disciple of, or you can say Christ, the great I am a disciple of, or you can say the great I am and Christ, I am a disciple of. It doesn't really matter how you look at it. That's what I'm saying. Now, so you guys can go check out that stuff. I don't really have a channel dedicated to Christ, I am disciple. This channel is for movies and for comics, and also for, of course, the gospel. And as we were talking about the gospel, I just wanted to share what I also put on my other channel, my boxing channel, which is Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verses 1 and 2. I'm going to just read it for you guys, and it is a law of life that is about to be said here. So those of you who don't believe in God, However, that's possible, but whatever. If you don't believe in God, you say you're atheist or you're agnostic or whatever. That's okay, because this still applies to you. It's still a principle that applies to you. And the truth be told, and I try to explain this to people all the time, God is not this entity in space sitting there, sort of kind of like controlling everything. It doesn't work like that. Okay. God is like life. Life is not something you can just pinpoint in one particular position or place, but you know it exists, right? That's the same thing. That's how God is. Energy, same thing. Can't really pinpoint energy in any one particular place. Energy is energy. It's everywhere, right? This is the same way with God. Okay, but there's a lot more to it, but I don't want to go into all that detail. But let's just keep it simple. That's what God is. So if you think of God in terms of a humanoid form and human, God is not human. Okay, God's beyond that. Beyond that, Jesus was a human. He was the Son of God at that point in time. He's coming back in a human form, but Jesus Christ, I'm going to say this so that people understand. And a lot of people don't understand me when I say that, especially religious people, and it's sad, but you're going to get what I'm saying now, I'm sure. Jesus Christ is not God. Jesus Christ is not man. When you say Jesus Christ, that means God saves. That's not just a man. That's God. But God, you can't isolate God down to any particular specific form or thing, right? And so if y'all say that Jesus Christ is God, those Christians who believe that, then you will understand then that Jesus Christ is not conforming to any shape or form, and therefore he does not need to be human at this point in time. Now, you will say, well, but how does he identify with us? Because he was human. Right. And right now, at this point in time, he doesn't need to be human. He doesn't need to be in a humanoid form or anything. He's a spirit. He's a spirit. And then people will say, well, no, Jesus wasn't a spirit because they touched him and stuff. And see, I'm not a spirit. No, that is ghost. You're talking about a ghost. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Jesus Christ is beyond human right now. He's ascended back into the form that he was, if there's such a thing as a form. Okay? Jesus Christ is everywhere. Everywhere. His angels are everywhere. But we think of things in terms of forms. It's not necessary. Spirits don't have to be in forms. Angels are ministering spirits. They're not ghosts. Can they materialize into a form? Absolutely, any form. So it's the same thing with Jesus. He can materialize it, and he proved it. He was the burning bush. He was this. He was that. Right? He's what he was, and he's not a he either. Right now. So when you have to understand these things. If you don't understand these things, then you're going to say, "Oh, there's no God." But dude, there is a God, and there's always been a God, and there's always God. We don't understand. A lot of people don't understand God, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, and we don't feel him and we don't experience him. I say him, but it's it or it, him, she, it, what. It doesn't matter what you use, because it doesn't matter. Okay? The important thing is God loved us, that he came in the form of a man. Okay? Not in the form of a woman. Didn't come in the form of a woman. Why? Why? Because according to the Holy Scriptures, man was made first. You know what's the funny thing? I don't want to go off course, but there is the firstborn and the secondborn. And the weird thing about this, you ready for this? The secondborn, which is the second Adam, is also the firstborn. Twofold. I'm going to explain it. So Adam was the first human that came out of the ground, right? Formed from the ground. Well, Jesus is the first human that was formed from above and below. See, Adam, God breathed into Adam the breath of life, and then he became a living soul, but he was formed out of the ground, right? Jesus, on the other hand, was formed of God. He wasn't just, he didn't just receive the breath of God. He was the breath of God. Yeah. So that was full God in a humanoid form inside of a human. See? So Jesus was like the, as they call it, the for those of you who understand the Ark of the Covenant and all this stuff, he like the Shekinah glory inside of the Ark of the Covenant. That's the essence of Jesus. That's God, right? But it was contained in the Ark of the Covenant, which was his body, which was offered for you and me. I'm speaking in metaphors though, which is kind of, but anyway. So for you guys to understand in a practical sort of way, God, think about love, how you feel about love. Some of you don't believe that there's such things as love and all these things. That means you don't believe in emotion. And I'll even go with emotion. The emotional feeling of love. What is that for you? What is that chemical change for you? I'll go all there. I don't mind because listen, man, I've been schooled by something that's not human. You got what I'm saying? I get my downloads from somewhere else. You dig what I'm saying? They like to talk about aliens, so I'm gonna say I get my downloads from an alien source. Speaking in metaphors, obviously. Alien to people's normal human tendencies, at least. So this information is coming to me in real time. I have not rehearsed this. I have not planned it. This is not no resume from some church or something. I'm speaking right now as I'm being downloaded information. Okay? So I'm trying to tell you guys that God is the same thing as love. You think if you felt love, which is weird to talk about because to feel love is one thing. Feeling love is a abstract thing. It's your emotions. You get happy because you feel that somebody loves you, right? And you felt the love, as they say. That's an abstract thing. You don't even have to have physical contact for that, right? So what is that? What is love? Well, it's more than an emotion, obviously, but the point is, it's something that drives you, and it's also something that you can feel. And if you ever felt love in your life or loved and felt secure and comforted, that is, in a sense, you're experiencing God there. That's God you're experiencing. You understand? This is the best way to explain it because it's something palatable. It's something you've experienced before. Whether you think love is an emotion or not is irrelevant. I'll give you another one. You're alive, aren't you? God is life. These are the two pillars of all existence. Love and life. Okay? You're alive right now. I'm alive right now. And the fact that we're alive and we feel the vitality in us, we feel the strength within us, because you can feel the strength. When you're ill, that's the time when you realize how difficult it is. I mean, I just dislocated my shoulder, what was it, a day or so ago, and I strained it, and all my muscles and all my ligaments and all my ligaments in my shoulder were out of place, and boy, did that thing hurt. Did it hurt? Till it's slicked back into place. And the point behind it is life. When you are losing life, when you're at the end of your life, that's the only time you really value it. Or when you realize you're in jeopardy of losing your life, that's when you really, really, really value it. And you realize it's not something that you will have all the time. Life is God. Life determines what happens with you. You have some say in it, but life situations determines your next move. You don't have control over life situations, and you don't have control over life. You don't have control over love. You can't contain it. You can't harness it. You can't regulate it. It is what it is. And you can't control life. Both are God, because they determine what you do next, how you feel next, etc. So if there's any way for me to explain what God is, those two words best describe him. And it's literally, the Bible says God is love and God is life. Literally says that in this book. Not that you needed a book to know that, because if you exist in the real world, you'd know that for yourself. You didn't even need a book for that. That's how real God is. And that's the best way for me to explain it. They're going to tell you things in churches and places, and they'll say all kinds of stuff. But at the end of the day, you want it in real terms, that's what it is. That's what God is. I said it. I didn't even say he or she or anything like that, right? God can be an it. People speculated that God was a machine and blah, 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 blah. No. It is nothing like that. All right? Now I'm hearing that there are aliens. They're saying that the Pentagon has put out a statement saying that they confirmed that they're aliens. I remember Barack Obama saying that, they have aliens out there and stuff like that. It is what it is. Now, with respect to these movies, I went off. Scripture was Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 1 and 2. So I break it down for you guys, man. It says, give generously, for your gifts will return to you later. Divide your gifts among many people, for you do not know what risk may lie ahead. Basically, talked about this on the other channel. Whenever you get something to receive, it's to share. It's not just for you. The more you share is the more you will receive. It's just the way it goes. Because you know what to do with the things that you receive. Now, I may not be at the point where I can do that or have done it, but I do understand it. And so if you look, the people who have been online, getting in contact with a lot more people and interfacing with a lot more people online concerning whatever interest that they have, you find that those people generally are supported more, right? The more you stay to yourself and you're just trying to get people to come to you, is the less likely that will happen. But the more you go out and you share yourself with other people and you go out there and you let people know, it's just a principle of life. More will come to you. That's just the way how that goes. Okay. So that's a principle of life. And I'm hoping that people who have power and leadership will understand power is to be shared. Power is not to be consolidated. I keep on explaining this to people, but they never understand me. Trying to hoard power and accumulate it is stupid. What you want to do is share it. And the more you share powers, the more power you will get, because more people will know you, recognize you, and they will also give back to you. And when you get given back, it's multiple of what you've given out. So, because you gave out to so many different people will give back to you. And therefore, I don't know anybody, my neighbors, I was speaking about my neighbors in the other channel. I don't know anybody who has been generous in giving to other people that don't get back and don't get help. May not be money, maybe in some other form, but that's just the way how that goes. Yeah, so Christ I Am Disciple. I just thought I'd share that with you guys, as well as Snyderverse for me is the Snyderverse for DC. So we're still sticking with Restore the Snyderverse as far as I'm concerned. But when it comes to other movies that Zack Snyder is interested in and right now investing his energy in, I'm 100% behind him, man. I'm 100% behind him. He's a very nice guy, and we have this big fan base, and it's just growing every day concerning what his movies and stuff because he's been so generous with his time and so generous with us and sharing stuff and making us so excited as his fans. So you see, principle right there in Ecclesiastes 11, 1 and 2 is being applied right there. I'm gonna catch you guys later, man. Christ and disciple. Don't forget to check out my channel. I'll do a separate video on that. Not my channel, sorry, my website with my music on it. It's a lot of music. I have 2 albums on there, but one of them is really good and the other one is not so good. But I'm gonna get some more albums put up. One of the albums to look out for is Invisible. Invisible is gonna be dope. And when I've really finished Invisible, y'all gonna really enjoy it. I also want to work along with some other people and some other artists, so look out for all of that. I'm gonna catch you guys later, though. What you need in the building and out of the building, I'll look out for the video too with Invisible. I'm trying to get Invisible, some of the videos to be VR 3D, so we'll see how that works. You have to get VR glasses to watch that, though. I'm gonna catch you guys later. What you need out. Peace.